So as I mentioned yesterday, collection is the super interface. On top of that, iterable interface is there. That's a topmost interface in the collections. Then collection below you have another sub interfaces. List is one of the sub interface of a collection. So list can contain methods like index based methods. So collection interfaces only methods which you are storing and retrieving and inserting, deleting, getting the size and checking the collection element. All are there in the collection with the element directly. So you are not putting any index based methods there. So that the collection interface has methods. Now list has methods based on the index based methods. It has to insert, to access, to delete the elements. It is a factory of list iterator interface. So public interface list extends collection. Public interface list extends collection. So that means interface extends another interface. This is the inheritance, right? So inheritance. That means all the methods of collection methods, so is going to be used by list. List methods also implemented where this list is implementing. So that means the classes, which classes are implementing this list interface must implement the collection methods also. So that's the interface extends another interface means. And what are the methods are there in the list? But what is mean by a list? A list contains a duplicate elements. List is ordered collection. Which order you inserted, same order it will return to you. Same order it will return to you. So we don't want no. So disorderly it won't store. It will store only ordered way. So which order you have given, same order it will return the elements. Same order it will return the elements. And list can contain duplicate elements. That means you can store even duplicate elements also in the list. And so list is sub interface. List is ordered collection. List can contain duplicate elements. List is implemented by array list class, linked list class, and vector classes. These three classes are implementing this list interface. So if the list is implemented, and collection methods also should be implemented. That's why you are seeing here. See here, add int index element. This is the list interface method. But this one, add element, this is coming from collection interface. Add all, so collection C. So add all int index collection C. So this one is coming from list interface. So next clear method is coming from collection. Equals method is coming from collection. Hash code method is coming from collection. Get, this is the method in the list. So you can access the elements of collection using get method. This is the very important. You will use in the WebDriver widely this method. To access any collection elements, any list collection elements, you have to call collection name dot get method and give the index number. So automatically in that position, what element is there, it will return to you. So E is empty method. So it returns true. If the list is empty, always so false. So last index of, it is used to return the index in this list of, so last index of this object. To array method, so it is used to return an array containing all the elements and convert that into object, single dimensional object array. So, and then main important is a contains method and contains all. contains, it will search this element is present in the collection or not. Contains all, collection C. So this will search a collection of elements. Okay. Index of method. So you can find this element index which returns integer value. Remove int index. Remove int index. So it remove the, so in this position, the element. So in this position, it will remove that element, or you can remove only element. So remove all, collection C. So it will remove all the elements that are specified here in this argument. So replace all. So replace all basically replaces the specified elements. Okay, so it replaces the specified element. Retain all. So retain all is, so it is going to retain this specific, this we already discussed it there, right? That is our set int index comma element. So int index comma element. So the set method is used to replace the element in this index. So this set method also very useful when you are working with the programs. This really helps you a lot. So these are the methods, some of the methods, widely used methods of list. Say list iterator is another sub interface. So which is, you can iterate the elements, list collection elements in backward and forward direction, because they are providing has previous and previous methods. And this list iterator is extended to iterator interface. Yesterday we discussed this iterator interface, which is the parent of this list iterator interface. This list iterator is used to iterate only list collection, but iterator interface is used to iterate the list collection and set collection, any other collections. So that's the iterator interface, but this will iterate only in forward direction, but this one will iterate in forward and backward direction. So add method. So this method inserts the specified element into the list. So we already seen these methods. I don't want to go through again. Array list class. So as I mentioned, list is implemented in the array list. Okay. Linked list and vector classes. So array list, linked list, vector classes. So that's this array list. And array list class uses a dynamic array for sorting the elements. It inherits the abstract list class and implements the list interface. Okay, so this is the array list class main object. So a dynamic array for storing the elements. It inherits the abstract list class and implements the list interface. List interface it is going to implement. And so array list class can contain duplicate elements. Array list class can contain duplicate elements. And because list contains duplicate elements, this also contains duplicate elements. So array list class maintains insertion order, and array list class is non-synchronized. And so array list allows random access. So where array works at the index basis, array works based on the index basis, right? Array list. So randomly you can access because of this index. So in Java, array list class manipulation is slow because of a lot of shifting takes place when you remove the elements from the collection. So that's why array list is a dynamic array for storing. Remember one point, collection, any collection just for storing, then you manipulate them. The purpose is storing some objects. So it will store the objects. That's the array list main objective. Any collection objective. So not only array list, but any collection objective, just storing the objects. And array list class extends abstract list class, implements list interface. So random access, clonable, serializable interfaces. So that's the array list class. The constructors of array list is, so you can see array list without arguments and also with arguments. So array list capacity, so you can use any one of them, whichever you want. You can pass array list constructor as a collection of elements. So same methods we discussed a list, same methods will be there here also. And let's move on to the next linked list. So the linked list and array list difference you just observe here. In the linked list, you can insert the elements, store the elements in front and back both. So it's a doubly linked list, we call that. So it provides a linked list data structure. So as a one node will link to another node. So that's the how they will store like this. See, every node will point to other node. Okay. So linked list class can contain duplicate elements. Linked list class maintains the insertion order. Linked list class is non-synchronized. So linked list class is, so manipulation is very fast because no shifting needs to occur. So linked list class can be used as a list, stack, or queue. Okay, so linked list class can be used as a list, stack, or queue. So that's the linked list main objective. And it can be used any of these three. So under doubly linked list, in the case of doubly linked list, so we can add or remove elements from both sides. So even front side and back side also you can insert. Okay, another node you can add, right? So here you can add, here you can add the elements. That's why this is called doubly linked list. You can store the elements. You can add or remove the elements in both sides. So this is called one node. Okay, this is called one node. That's the doubly linked list. And so this is also having a lot of other methods, but most of the methods we discussed, but some of the extra methods we have stack related methods like peek first to poll, and poll first, pop. So these are some of the methods. The peek method, it retrieves the first element of a list. So peek last to peek first to, so this is the retrieve the first element of a list, returns null if a list is empty. Peek last, it retrieves the last element of a list, returns a null if a list is empty. Poll, it retrieves and removes the first element of a list. And poll first retrieves and removes first element of a list. And pop is basically it pops an element from stack represented by a list. So push method, basically this is also important. It pushes the element into the stack. So, okay. And remove method, it retrieves and removes the first element of a list. So we have seen already remove, but these are the new things: pop, push, poll, peek. These are the methods you will use mostly. Peek, poll, pop methods. Push method also you will use in the programs. And other than that, we have a third implemented class, that is vector class. So list is implemented in the vector class also. Another class which implements the list interface. So vector uses a dynamic array to store the elements. It is similar to array list, but so that is a non-synchronized, but this one is a synchronized. So it contains many methods that are not part of collection framework. That's a vector means. Vector is a old class, legacy class, and stack. So stack is a so another subclass of a vector. It's a last in first out data structure. The stack contains all of the methods of vector class and also provides its methods like boolean, push, peek, and which defines its properties. Okay, so that's the stack. And queue is, you already know queue means first in first out order. Stack is last in first out order. So LIFO, and queue is FIFO, first in, first out order. So it can be defined in an ordered list that is used to hold the elements which are about to be processed. And so whoever comes first, that will be come out from the queue. So that's the queue. And the difference between array list and linked list is, these are all theory part, but I just go through that in the interview point of view. These are important. Otherwise, just having some high level knowledge, it's good when you're attending for interviews. Okay. So array list internally is just a dynamic array to store the elements. Linked list internally is just a doubly linked list to store the elements. Manipulation with array list is slow because it internally uses an array. So if an element is removed from the array, all the bits are shifted in memory. And manipulation with the linked list is faster than array list because it uses a doubly linked list. So no bit shifting is required in memory. So that's why manipulation is slow with array list. Manipulation is fast with the linked list. So array list class can act as a list. So linked list class can act as a list and queue. So both, because it implements the list and DQ interfaces. And array list is better for sorting and accessing the data. Linked list is better for manipulating the data. And that's the few differences. And another important concept is generics and non-generics. So what is generics and non-generics? So generics and non-generics means, what is meant by that? So non-generic is, you don't need to specify particular type of data when you are storing the elements. So all kinds of elements you can store. So in the collection. Whereas generic means you can specify only particular type of elements you can store in the collection. So that's the generics means. And another thing is, so main advantage of the generics is, which allows you to have only one type of object in a collection. Now it is type safe. So typecasting is not required at runtime. So typecasting is not required at runtime if you follow the generics. If you don't follow, so you might need a generics typecasting at runtime. That's our main problem with the non-generic thing. That's why most of the people will use non-generics, generics, sorry. So generics will be used. And so typecasting you don't need to do because same type of elements will be there in entire collection. That's why you don't need a typecasting. So that's the point, main point, stronger type check at compile time itself. So you don't need any typecasting. So it's a type safety and eliminates of casting. So casting concept eliminates. So list equal to new array list. This is the non-generic. So if you add a hello, so you can string s equal to list dot get of 0 means because you are entering a string into this list collection. Now you need to add a typecasting here. Same thing if you rewritten this object creation, list, angular brackets, in between that you specify the data type of collection, list equal to new array list, angular bracket string. So that's a new array list of string, the parenthesis semicolon. So list dot add hello, string s equal to list dot get of 0. So you can get this first element into this, because this is already you specified as a string type. So everything will be in the string only. But if you see here, you're not specifying a string. So you're not specifying any data type here. Any kind of data you can store here. That's the problem here. And but here, this collection is going to have only string type data. This collection is going to have only string type data. So, and also it helps you to implement your own generic algorithms. And like, this is the non-generic format, array list collection name equal to new array list, creating old non-generic array list format, this one. So how to create a same thing? How can you convert into generic format? So array list class, string, angular bracket inside, al equal to new array list. So string. So creating a new generic array list in this format. So in generic collection, we specify the type in angular braces. Now array list is forced to have the only specified type of objects. Okay. If you try to add another type of object, it gives a compile time error. It gives a compile time error. So you have to make sure. So what is the data type you want to specify in the angular brackets? And the right hand side also you specify both. So your data type you are specifying in the angular brackets, both left hand side and right hand side. So that really helps you. So because this is the widely used in the WebDriver. So list angular bracket data type collection name equal to the WebDriver methods, which is returning the list type collection. And this one is list collection name, new array list. This is the non-generic collection type. So list data type collection name equal to new array list. So data type. So generic format. Okay. So this is the generic format. So you can list data type collection name equal to new array list. So angular bracket. So the data type you can give. So this is the collection type. You can so give that collection data type is always this data type. All the elements in this collection are this data type elements. You cannot once you declare in the angular brackets the data type, other data type elements you cannot keep it. If you keep, you will get a compile time error. So even same set also. So list is a one concept. There is a set collection, set data type, collection name equal to WebDriver plural methods. So set data type collection name equal to new implementing class data type. So both places you are setting the I'll resume. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay, so set interface. Set interface in Java. So basically, same package like enter collections will be in java.util package. So it extends again collection interface. So it represents the unordered set of elements which doesn't allow to store the duplicate elements. Basically, you don't have a duplicate elements in the set. Even if you insert also, while returning, so it will set the only unique elements. It will return to you unique elements only. So it is an unordered set of collections. Unordered set means there is no guarantee. So whatever the order you inserted, same order it won't return. That's an unordered collection, and so it doesn't contain duplicate elements. Whenever you store, even if you store also, so it will give you unique elements for you. So for example, anywhere in your collection, so somebody will give, okay, in this collection duplicates are there, remove the duplicate elements, the unique elements collection, then you can use a set collection. So they might give you array, and that you can convert into list. You can store in the list them, and you can then convert that list into set collection, and it will give you only unique elements for you. So that's a approach you need to follow for that program. I'll show you that program also we have. So And this set is implemented by hash set, linked hash set, tree set class. So hash set, linked hash set, tree set classes. So set can be instantiated. So like this. So interface and angular bracket inside, you can give a data type and set name equal to new hash set. So I told you set is implemented by three classes. One is hash set class, linked hash set class, tree set class. These are the three classes which implements the set interface. So set S2 equal to new linked hash set, so data type, and set S3 equal to new tree set. So basically, these are the three kinds of set collection you can create. So basically, you see, you can create create only for object, classes object, not for the interface, right? So we already discussed this part in the interface concept. Same you will apply in the even in the WebDriver also. And that's the high level. See, the collection is the super interface and set is the sub interface. Set is implements. See, implements keyword. Set implements inside the hash set class, linked hash set class, tree set class. So what is the difference between hash set, linked hash set, and tree set? So let's go and discuss one by one. Hash set is the sort of class which is going to create a set collection and which stores the elements based on the hashing technique. Hashing technique means, so it's a memory based. Hashing means a memory address. Hash code, or we call that, right? Hash code, object, memory address, how you can fetch with the hash code, right? That hash code will give you memory address. That memory address is called hashing. So that hashing based, you can fetch all the elements. Hash set contains unique elements. So hash set allows null values. Hash set class is non-synchronized. And hash set doesn't maintain the insertion order. So elements are inserted on the basis of their hash code. And hash set is the best approach for search operations. So the initial default capacity is 16 and the load factor is 0.75. Okay, so the hash set class is basically, so it is going to have unordered set of collections. Basically, the elements, won't give in the order. So they will be in the, its own order. Why its own order is because of memory. So how this memory will get all this, I am going to explain in the map. Okay, so then you will get some idea. So how this will calculate the memory, which memory it will go, how do you know? So these all questions, it will be there, right? So this, the initial capacity is 16 buckets will store. So each bucket memory address, that memory address, it will go and store that element. And based on that, the element will go and store. Again, same methods are there, add method is there, but add int index is not work. So will not work because set collection doesn't work based on the index. Only list collection will work based on the index. So, and hash set class is, so hash set extends abstract set, implements set collection. So this is the high level, so implementation part. Implementation part, okay. So here, if you observe here, see, abstract set class. This is the abstract class. So remember this, hash set extends the abstract set class, implements the set interface, and see, these are all the hierarchy. These three are interfaces: iterable, collection, set. So these are the three interfaces. So which is implemented in the hash set class. Again, methods are same methods, add method and clear method. So contain, so is empty, and iterator method, remove size. All these methods are collection methods will be there. And what is linked asset? So as I mentioned, asset is a unordered collection, but a linked asset is ordered collection. If you want a set collection in the insertion order you want, you create object for linked asset class, not for asset class. So set angular bracket data type collection name equal to new linked asset angular bracket. If you do, then you insert the elements, duplicates or normal elements. It will insert only for you unique elements only, but the same order it will return to you, not the other order. So tree set class implements the set interface that uses a tree for storage, like hash set, tree set. So tree set is basically it will sort the elements in the alphabetical order. So it sort the elements in the alphabetical order. That's the tree set class main advantage. Anything if you want to do a sorting, right? Anything if you want to do a sorting, so that will help you to sort the elements. Okay. So this is the one, and I was telling one concept, right? So in the given array, how can you remove the duplicate elements? So you will convert the list. So list elements you can convert into set format or convert set into list format. This is the formula. So you have a set collection. How can you convert that into list format? So this one, you create a list interface, the data type in the angular bracket, collection name equal to new array list of data type, the set collection name you pass it here. That means this is a constructor, parameterized constructor you are using. So collection name you are passing. So convert list into set collection. How can you convert the list into set collection? So you create the set collection. So new hash set and list collection name you can give. So the difference between list and set. So what is the difference between list and set collections? So here I have given 4 points. You can just cover these 4 points in the interviews. They will ask these questions. A list can contain duplicate elements, whereas set contain unique elements. List is ordered collection, whereas set is unordered collection. List elements can be accessed using index, whereas set collection elements cannot be accessed using index. And a list is implemented by array list, linked list, vector, whereas set is implemented by hash set, linked hash set, and tree set classes. So that's a very easy points. Just remember this. This is a widely asked interview question, this one. And another one, what is the difference between iterator and a list iterator? So as we already discussed, iterator can traverse the elements in forward direction only, whereas list iterator can be used to traverse in both the directions. So forward and backward directions, you can iterate. The list iterator inherits from iterator interface and comes with extra functions like adding an element, replacing an element, getting index position for previous and next elements, We can use iterator to traverse a set list collections, whereas list iterator can be used with list only. So how can we iterate the collection? Any collection, it can be list collection or a set collection, any collection, how can you iterate? The first approach is using iterator interface. So iterator interface, the it variable equal to collection name, any of your collection, list collection or set collection dot iterator method. So what it will do? This iterator method will go to first element that will store here. So this will check whether the element is there or not. Then you can get that element. It dot next. So you can get that. Again, this next method will move the cursor to next position, second element. So that will store here. And then it will check if the element is there or not. If it is there, it will come inside the while loop and it will get the value by this next method and cursor will move to third element. Like that, all the elements till last element, it will iterate one by one by this iterator method. Cursor will move by next method, but the iteration is done by iterator method. So next element, from first element to next element, it will move by this iterator method. That's how to iterate any collection. The second approach is for each loop. You can use for each loop. So for each loop is for bracket data type, variable name, colon, collection name, and statement and logic. And with a normal for loop, for bracket initialization, semicolon, condition, semicolon, increment or decrement, statements plus logic. So this is the three ways, but this normal for loop can be used only for list collection, and above 1 and 2 you can use for list as well as set collections, these two. But this one 1, 2, 3 you can use for list, 1, 2 only you can use for
list and set
collection. Clear? Any questions here?
No, sir.
Okay. So these are the examples programs. You can go through these programs. Okay. So a lot of programs I have given. So many programs I have given. You can take up one of them at least. Okay. Any one of them. Let me show you those programs. Okay. Very high level quickly. And then we can check tomorrow the map concept. Let me create a new package, collection programs. Okay, so this is the one non-generic format. Okay, so object list creation. Okay, list creation with non-generic format. So non-generic format. So system.out.println size of the collection, if you, for example, you created. So we are not specifying any data type here. Can you observe this list AL equal to new array list? Are we specifying any data type here? So now what is the data type of this collection?
Non can be any.
We don't know the data type, right? If you don't know the data type,
we can use.
I'm not sure did I explain this point or not. If you don't know the data type of anything, that element data type is going to be object class. Please make a note and know this point. So if you are not specifying anything a data type, that is going to be data type is going to be object class. So now this data type is a object. So now AL dot size method. See, I'm calling now. There is no elements at all. So you will get a 0 first. And you can print the collection. So the advantage is you don't need to use a loop to print the collection. So you just call the collection name, automatically entire collection will print. So I'm inserting the element into collection. AL dot add Java. So this is the string object I'm storing in the collection with the add method. AL dot add Python. So now AL dot add 1 and true. So in the first position, okay, I want to insert a true. I want to insert a true. So that's the value. So now what will happen? This is in the first index. Now this is the one index, right? But now what I'm doing here, I'm forcing. So okay, one index, you place this true value. So that will place here. And what will happen? This will move down, shifting takes place. This will go up in this position. This will come up in the next position. So are you clear on this? First priority will be given for the index number. Generally, while inserting, now this is in the first index. Now what will happen? It will move. This will move down and this will go and place there in this index. Because you clearly mentioned here. It won't override, but it will move down. So this will go down and this will take that place. Okay. So then you print the size and you print the collection AL. And inserting multiple elements in the collection. So how can you insert multiple elements? See that. AL dot add all bracket arrays dot as list. So the number of elements, I mean, see, these are all the number of, this is how to add multiple elements. Arrays dot as list. So this is the, okay. So elements and all these elements can be stored. Okay. So it can be, so see the now integer, long, float, double, string. See, all kinds of data elements you are storing because you are not specifying any data type here. That's the another non-generics means. This is the non-generic, you can store all of them. Now what will happen? Whatever the elements you inserted here, after that, these elements will add. Then find the size, these 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 plus 6, 9. So the size will be 9 here. And all this in the same insertion order, it will print them. So AL dot remove. So of 3. So third index, whatever the element is there, that element, third index means this 0, 1. This is the 1 and this is the 2. And third index means this 25. 25 will be removed. 0, 1, 2, 3. The 3 is, this is the fourth element. So the fourth element will be removed. So size of collection after remove, one element is, now find, now 8 elements will be there. Now AL collection is that 25 will be removed. And AL dot remove all, arrays dot as list. So you can have them. Okay, so 3.45. So this one and the Java. So I'm removing only these elements. That means you already have these elements, right? That I'm removing. Remove all will remove the specified elements from this collection. So that's the remove all. So next is empty method. It checks whether this collection is empty or not. And it contains method. It is going to search this element is present in this collection or not. If not present, returns false. If it is present, returns true. The return type of this method is a Boolean value. This method return type is a Boolean value. So you already know how to call non-static return type methods. So data type, variable name, object reference dot, non-static return type. So that's a formula I am applying here. So Boolean B2 equal to AL dot, see this is the one. How can you access the collection element? AL dot get of 1 that equals Python. So this collection first element is Python or not, I am checking. So whether that is, so Python or not, we need to check. So checking collection, so element, so in this 0, 1 is Python or not. So in the one place, one position, the Python is there or not. Add all int index collection C. Before add all is just adding all the elements, right? This one. So add all method. So this is the add all without index, right? But now I'm inserting int index. So collection C. So two parameterized method I'm calling add all method. So L dot add all index 1 position, you insert all these elements, Golang, Kotlin, closer, Kotlin. So there's a duplicate elements I'm inserting. So whether the duplicates are going to add or not, you can see that. So retain all, it retains all the elements. So whatever you specified will be retained, remaining will be deleted. So that's a retain all method. So iterator interface method, iterator it equal to AL dot iterator, while it dot has next, it will just iterating the collection. Then using a for each loop to iterate the element, and then normal for loop for iterating the element. Okay, just AL dot clear, it will clear all the elements. No more elements will be available for this using clear method. So these are the methods. So we have discussed, and again I have shown you demo on this. So please write the program so that it will help you to understand that. Okay. Any questions? No questions. We can stop. Close the your